All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into a book that has, no joke, changed millions of lives. Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Now, this isn't just another productivity guide. It's a whole roadmap for building a life that's not only successful, but also deeply fulfilling. So, let's get into it.
And we're kicking things off with this quote because, honestly, it just stops you in your tracks, right? It gets to the absolute core of what this book is all about. It hints that being truly effective isn't about tips and tricks. It's about a massive shift in how you see the world and how you connect with the people in it. So section 1 is all about moving past the easy answers. You know, we live in a world that is completely obsessed with quick fixes, with life hacks. Well, Covey's whole idea is radically different. He says that real, lasting success doesn't come from a trick you learned online. It comes from what he calls the character ethic. And the idea here is so powerful. Genuine success grows from the inside out. It's about who you are, not just what you do. It's about building a solid foundation of things like integrity, honesty, and courage first. Everything else, it just grows from that strong base. Okay, so that brings us to the first 3 habits. Covey groups these together and calls it the private victory. And it's private for a reason. This is the work you have to do on you, with yourself, before you can effectively lead or work with anyone else. It's all about making that crucial shift from dependence to real independence. And you'll notice these 3 habits are in a very specific order. It's a logical progression. Think about it. You can't really set a course for your life if you don't first believe you're the one steering the ship. And you can't prioritize your daily actions if you don't know your ultimate destination. It all builds on itself. The whole journey kicks off right here with habit 1, be proactive. This is the absolute bedrock of everything else. The idea is simple, but it's a total game changer. You are not just a passenger in your own life story. You are the author. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? So many of us are reactive. We're driven by our moods, by the weather, by what other people do. But proactive people, they're different. They're driven by their values, by principles they've actually thought about and chosen for themselves. So what does this actually look like day to day? Well, it means you stop blaming things and you take full responsibility. You realize that between something happening to you and your response, there's a little gap. And in that gap lies your freedom and your power to choose. And just as important, it means you focus your time and energy on your circle of influence, the stuff you can actually change, instead of worrying about all the things you can't. Okay, so habit 1 put you in the driver's seat. Now for habit 2, where are you actually going? This habit is all about creating your personal map. It's the habit of self-leadership. You've got to define your destination before you hit the gas. Covey uses this fantastic metaphor. He says to imagine you're climbing a ladder. You could be the most efficient, fastest climber in the world, but if that ladder is leaning against the wrong wall, every single step just takes you to the wrong place faster. This habit is about pausing to make sure your ladder is on the right wall. And the practical tool for this is to create a personal mission statement. I know, it might sound a bit formal, but think of it as your personal constitution. It's this document you create for yourself that clearly states what you value, what you stand for, and it becomes the ultimate guide for every decision you make going forward. So you've got your mission, you know your why. Habit 3 is all about the how. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's the habit of execution and management, turning that big vision of yours into a daily reality. And to help us do this, Covey gives us this brilliant tool, the time management matrix. It asks us to filter everything we do through 2 questions. Is it urgent? And more importantly, is it important? See, most of us spend our lives in quadrant 1, putting out fires, or getting distracted by quadrant 3's interruptions. But the secret sauce? The place where effective people live, it's quadrant 2, the important but not urgent stuff. Planning, learning, building relationships, this is where you prevent fires from even starting. So once you've done that crucial inner work, once you've achieved that private victory, you're ready to move outward. This brings us to the public victory. This is where you take your solid, independent self and learn to create amazing things with other people. It's the move from I to we.
And that journey with others starts with habit 4. Think win-win. And let's be really clear here. This isn't just some negotiation tactic. It's a total philosophy for how you interact with every single person. It's based on the core belief that there's plenty of success for everyone. It's not a zero-sum game. And this chart shows the difference perfectly. The win-lose mindset is all about competition. For me to win, you have to lose. But win-win is a frame of mind that is always looking for a better way, a third alternative. It's about cooperation, believing that if we work together, we can both come out ahead and build a stronger relationship for the future. That sounds great, right? But how do you actually get to a win-win solution? Well, that's where habit 5 comes in. Hey, remember that quote from the very beginning about listening only to reply? This habit is the cure. It's a profoundly simple rule. Shut up and listen. Genuinely listen. The key here is what Covey calls empathic listening. This isn't just hearing words. It's about trying to truly understand the other person's perspective, their feelings, their frame of reference. When someone feels genuinely heard and understood by you, it's like a key turning in a lock. Defenses come down, trust is built, and the door to real collaboration swings wide open. Now, when you put it all together, a win-win attitude and the skill of deep listening, you unlock habit 6, synergize. This is where the real magic happens. It's the habit of creative cooperation. It's that amazing moment when the result you create together is far greater than anything you could have done alone. It's where 1 + 1 = 3 or 10 or even 100. Okay, so you've mastered yourself, you're working great with others, you're all set, right? Well, not quite. How do you sustain all this? How do you keep it going for a lifetime? That brings us to our final and maybe most important habit. This is habit 7, sharpen the saw. And this quote perfectly explains it. Imagine a woodcutter working so hard to saw down a tree that they never take a break to sharpen their dull saw. They work harder and harder for less and less result. In this story, you are the saw. You are your greatest asset. And if you don't take time for regular maintenance, you're going to burn out. And this isn't just about taking a vacation once a year. It's about consistently investing in the 4 key dimensions of your being: your physical health, exercise, nutrition, rest; your mental health, reading, learning, writing; your emotional health, connecting with others; and your spiritual self, connecting with your values, with nature, with your purpose. Neglecting any one of these is like driving a car with a flat tire. So let's pull all of this together. Let's zoom out and look at the big picture. What is the ultimate message of this incredible framework? You know, the most crucial takeaway is that the 7 habits are not a checklist to be completed. They represent a fundamental understanding that real growth is an inside-out journey. It's built on timeless universal principles, not on quick-fix personality tricks. This is a handbook for lifelong improvement, with a goal that's so much bigger than just being productive. The real goal is to be effective and to live a life full of purpose and fulfillment. So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this question to think about. Out of all 7 of these, which one hits home for you the most, right now, in your life? Whether it's the idea of being more proactive, or finally defining your mission, or maybe just listening a little bit better. There's always a next step on this path. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.